Hello and welcome to Fully Charged, California, the Sunshine State. Or not, as the case may be, because today it's absolutely slashing with rain. And we're here at the Los Angeles Convention Center. Los Angeles show is now classed as America's unofficial, most influential car show. It seems to be adapting to new technologies and new cars, as they always have done. There's loads of plug-in cars here that I'm going to crack on with. I've got wet trousers, nothing to see here. It's the rain, I promise. Let's go and have a look at some motors. High five. We're walking onto the very brightly lit Audi stand, and this is important because they have just tugged the sheets off a very cool car, an e-tron, another e-tron, but called the GT, I think it is. So it's like it's not an SUV, it's a sporty little quattro car. Let's go and have a look. They do realise that you can just go online and get all the dimensions of that car. Yeah, they'll be wanting to know about all the proportions, and a lot of the time rival car companies, they just want intel on one another. Where's the e-tron GT? Excuse me, where's the e-tron GT concept?
That was here yesterday, actually.
Oh, it's not here?
Nope, it's on tour right now.
No. Really?
Yeah, yesterday they had the press conference here.
I thought they did, but I thought it'd be here for the second press day as well.
Sorry.
Well, that's just a shame. Okay, well, that is a little bit of a problem. I've just been told that the GT concept, which I came here to look at, was here yesterday, and it's not here today. It's gone on a world tour. So all we have on the Audi stand is the e-tron, which is fantastic, don't get me wrong. I'll be driving one in about 2 weeks. But I didn't want to see that because I've seen it before. So I'm now going to flash up some images of it on the screen, of what it does look like. And what you want to know is the Audi GT concept has the underpinnings of the Porsche Taycan. And the Porsche Taycan, we know, is 800 volts. Hell of a thing. So this GT concept is like a sportier passenger car version of that, with even more power than that. Because don't forget, Audi's in the same company as Porsche. They share technology, they share a lot. Anyway, it's not here, so I'm going to go. I'm heading over to Volkswagen because I know that there is something on display that's definitely on display. It hasn't gone anywhere, and it is the next generation of ID Buzz concept. Now, you know the ID Buzz, it's one of Fully Charged's most popular videos that we put out when I came here to California to drive that lovely concept, the yellow and white two-tone bus, retro looking, future retro looking bus. Look at this. I've seen that before. No, last time I saw that was going up Pikes Peak and setting an all new world record with Romain Dumas at the wheel. This is the next generation of ID, and it's a panel van, it's a delivery van. Oh, it's the original transporter van reborn. VW say that America last year had 11.7 billion parcels delivered. That's an average of 37 parcels per person. And they reckon that all of those things were delivered by van or truck. 17% of the pollution in America is down to delivery vehicles. So this, the ID Buzz cargo concept, is a natural progression on from the ID Buzz camper van, because this is the bread and butter. This is what it started as. In 1950, they brought out the Volkswagen Type 2 Transporter, that. What can I tell you about it? Well, it's based on this MEB platform that Volkswagen have developed, which is bespoke for their all-new ID series. It's 198 equivalent horsepower. I think it's 800 kilos of payload. So yeah, 800 kilos, so just under a ton of cargo. Looks like it's got split cargo doors at the back. This amazing, looks like it'll light up badge. Again, really simple surfaces, but just beautiful. They've done this in the livery of the VW Motorsport racing team. They've put the sticker on of Pikes Peak to make it look like it was a Pikes Peak assistance vehicle for that. It's nifty, I like it. Now, like all vans, it has a sliding side door, so double back door opens, sliding door opens. This one's been kitted out like a pit stop service vehicle, so you've got racks, you've got compressed air supply, tools really. It's like a race support vehicle, fire extinguisher. But the bottom line is the whole thing about vans is it's an empty space to do what you want with it. And look at this roof light. That is amazing, like an LED, really soft lit panel. So in here, the lighting's amazing. Doesn't feel gloomy like most vans. This makes so much sense when you think about a van that's got reasonable range, does lots of short journeys, stop and start. It probably has the need for power takeoffs for tools and charging and stuff like that. And it looks good. It looks way better than the current T6, which is VW's transporter van. Lovely illuminating, almost looks like it's made of cut glass. Volkswagen badge, big proud nose badge, same as that one over there. And these kind of daytime running lights, which I think can turn into indicators. These are all flush fit. I mean, the whole van, the whole front end is flush because obviously it doesn't need much cooling going in there. Is that an air vent? No. Oh yeah, there is. There's some air vents in there. Yeah, some probably for brakes. Inside you got 3 abreast seating, from what I can see. And the middle seat can fold down and turn into like an armrest with 2 cup holders, like an iPad type of mount. Of course, there's loads of space on the dash. The steering wheel, there's that kind of lozenge shape, and that can go back into the dash for fully autonomous driving capability. Seats are made of what looks like kind of hard wearing, what is it, vinyl or neoprene? Might be neoprene. Never has a tradesman got the potential to look so cool. That's where it'll charge, in there. So this is lower powered than the ID Buzz. It's 198 horsepower-ish, which is still a lot if you compare it to a piston engine. And you'll be able to have it in a different states of range, I would have thought. You'll probably have lower range for shorter delivery vehicles, higher range for vehicles that live in more rural areas or just have to do longer journeys. It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? VW is saying that at 150 kilowatts DC fast charge, it could charge to 80% in 30 minutes. So pretty quick. That up there, I didn't realise, is a photovoltaic solar panel. Of course, it's a flat roof. All vans are solar, have got flat roofs, so it's perfect. VW say that when this sits on a sunny day, you can get up to 9.3 miles of extra range. So you park up, you do your job as a tradesperson, and all the while, the car is feeding itself range. It's so obvious. It's so brilliant. It's quite lonely on the Toyota stand. There's not many people here, but nice carpet, very soft. This is the 2020 Corolla hybrid. We get the Corolla now because the Auris has been discontinued and they've brought back the Corolla name. We used to think the Corolla was a boring car. No, the Auris was way more boring. So they've brought the Corolla back. And it is going to be like this, but the European version will be a hatchback, or for the UK at least. This is the American version, and this is the first time the Corolla has been a hybrid in the US. We will almost certainly get this car. No details have been revealed yet, but the DNA of the Prius will be in there. You know it will. It's a bit quiet and lonely in here, so I'm going to go. This could be the most efficient all-wheel drive car ever behind me. It's a Prius, but it's the 2019 version. And it's the ski racks on the roof that give the game away. This is called a Prius all-wheel drive -E, AWD-E. Because it's all-wheel drive, it's got another motor at the back. It uses a little induction motor that can decouple at will. Doesn't intrude into the boot space because it's below the boot. And it's got special battery packs which have been designed, nickel metal hydride battery packs, designed specifically for cold weather use to be more efficient. So if you live in a cold, slippery area like Sweden or Scotland, it could be quite useful. Also, could dispel that whole myth of like, you need a 4x4, big, high, heavy thing if you're going to go around slippery areas. Maybe you don't. That with some winter tyres, good to go. In Japan, the all-wheel drive Prius has been an option for a few years now, but I don't think anywhere else outside of Japan. There's a chance we'll get it, but North America are going to get it next year. And typically in Japan, it's about £1,500 extra as an optional extra. So bear that in mind. Look at this. It's a Subaru with a plug for the very first time. It is a plug-in hybrid. It's called a Subaru Crosstrek hybrid. Now, this is probably more for our fully charged viewers in America rather than UK, because I don't know if this car is going to make it to Britain. I hope it will, because Subaru have never done a plug-in thing. But the USP of Subarus has always been permanent four-wheel drive. It's a passenger car, not an SUV, and it's four-wheel drive. It's got a 2-litre Boxer, which is a flat 4 engine in the front, mated to a Toyota-derived hybrid Synergy drive hybrid unit. So it's got 2 electric motors and not one. It'll apparently do 17 miles EV only, and that is up to a speed of 65 miles an hour, so not bad. But no, it's not a pure electric car, and no, it's not like a really thrifty car. But, and here's the thing, Subarus in America sell really, really well in states like Colorado. They're immensely popular because they're not a big flabby SUV. They're a normal sized car with immense grip. So this has got an interesting proposition now. The boot space is slightly smaller, I believe, by 5 cubic feet less. See, like the Mercedes C350e, which I had, you have a step up of a boot. The boot's not flat anymore because the batteries live under there. One more thing, this is 8.8 kilowatt hour battery pack in here. Again, it'll be Toyota bought technology. It doesn't use the Toyota CVT gearbox, which is horrendous. I think it uses a traditional auto. And of course, this is a permanent drive shaft 4-wheel drive car, so it's got some interesting tech. I'd like to see what it looks like underneath, really, but I'm not going to get a chance today. Subaru going plug-in, interesting. Now, I walked past this earlier on and thought, oh, it's a hot Corvette. It's a tuned Corvette.
Sure.
And then I suddenly went, no, it isn't.
That's not. Yeah.
It's not as it seems.
Definitely.
So this is called the Genovation GXE.
Yeah. Genovation Extreme Electric.
Extreme Electric, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
It's got a Guinness World Record in the standing mile of 190.
Has it really?
Yeah. And it's got an EMRA certified top speed world record of 209 miles an hour.
Wow.
And we broke that record a few years ago down at the Kennedy Space Center on the Space Shuttle runway.
Space Shuttle runway.
Yeah,
that's quite cool.
It was a fantastic place to do that. 3.2 miles long.
So for viewers at home, this is a C7 Corvette. Is
Correct.
that right?
Yeah, it's a Grand Sport.
Grand Sport.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So do you start with a bare shell? Or?
No, we actually bought this car from a dealership. Took the engine out and sold it. Took the exhaust system and the gas tanks out. And so there are 5 battery modules in the car.
Okay.
There's one under the hood, there's one in the exhaust tunnel, the 2 gas tank cavities, and one in the trunk. So we really tried to give it a low center of gravity for handling, and it's got a near perfect 50-50 weight distribution.
Tell me what cells and things you use. Is it off the shelf or is it designed in-house?
They're off the shelf. We're battery agnostic, so we test all kinds of different chemistry.
Yeah.
But we stick with the 18650s. The latest, greatest chemistry usually finds its way into that format, and so
yeah.
And
liquid cooled? Any liquid cooling?
Yeah, it's got 3 different cooling loops. It's got a very, very sophisticated cooling system. It's got a standalone compressor, and then it's got a chiller. And all the loops are really state of the art, especially the battery loop, which is so key. Yeah.
Because if you're selling it as a car that's obviously built to perform hard, you've got to keep everything.
Yeah, if you overheat the batteries, you damage the cycle life severely, and so it's really critical to have a very robust cooling system.
So run me through the specs, because everyone loves a spec. What kind of horsepower are we talking
800
about?
horsepower.
Okay, impressive.
Yeah, this car's made 718 foot-pounds on a dyno.
Wow.
Yeah. And the coolest thing about it is this car is a stick shift.
It's a manual.
It's a manual
isn't a Corvette
transmission.
7-speed?
7-speed manual.
So it still is a 7-speed manual?
Yeah, you drive it just like the V8. You shift right at 7,500 RPMs when you want to get on it.
So it's got an RPM counter?
Yeah, exactly. And,
wow.
And people think, it's totally silent. How do you drive it? It's very intuitive. I mean, the comment that we hear from drivers is that it's strange how normal it is to drive.
Yeah.
And they love that fact.
It makes a noise. It's just not a piston noise.
When you drive it hard, it sounds like a turbine. It sounds like a jet engine.
Does it?
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
Wow.
It's got this science fiction kind of sound. It's like out of a movie. It's so much fun.
As we've been chatting, you've got these kind of LED, what would you call them?
Yeah, it's a lighting sequence that when you plug the car in and the batteries are empty,
Yeah.
you'll see like a pulsing chasing light that's red, and then when it gets to 33%, it'll go blue.
It goes down the mirrors,
starts in these stalks, yeah,
down into these kind of fangs.
fills the fangs.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then this is lit.
These are these are very state-of-the-art inverters. They come from a company that supplies 3 of the Formula One teams with inverters, and so we try to use as much American technology as possible.
So it's still very American.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So can you order this now?
Yeah, we're taking deposits.
Yeah.
And the car comes with a free half day at the track, so we'd have a professional driving instructor spend half a day with you and let you get familiar with the driving experience. There are different drive modes, so there's valet mode, normal, sport, and then extreme mode fully unlocks everything.
Extreme.
Yeah. And the cool thing is we can do over-the-air updates. So it's got an active programmable suspension, an active wing.
Wow.
Those can work together. You can dial in different amounts of regen. You can change the parameters around the traction control.
Yeah.
Dial it in for a short track, dial it in for top speed. We can put a different splitter on it for top speed runs, different wing. Each one will have a unique color. Once a customer picks the color, nobody else can have that exact color.
Okay.
They can even name it. They can come and meet with our design team and design their own custom interior.
Yeah.
And we literally strip the car down to every nut and bolt and build it back to the customer's specifications.
How long does it take to build one?
It's about 4 months.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of wiring and a lot of...
There's a lot of technology in this car. I mean, it's really, really state-of-the-art. It's a very sophisticated, very intelligent machine. Every major car magazine wants to drive it.
Yeah.
And, we've got a list of about 80 prospects that all want to take it for a test.
Well, I guess we'll have to add our name to that.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
If you don't ask, you don't get. Right? The Range Rover PHEV, we've covered that before in a previous Fully Charged episode, but the brand new Range Rover Evoque, which is actually not here sadly, but it was launched about 4 or 5 days ago before I got here, is going to come equipped as an optional PHEV, and I'm going to put a picture of it on the screen right now, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. This one's a little bit token. Hopefully the Evoque plug-in hybrid will be a little bit better, and it's smaller. Infiniti is the luxury brand of Nissan that in America it's been in production since the late 80s. In the UK nobody really understands Infiniti, and I don't really. But this is called a Prototype 10. This was launched actually at Pebble Beach, which is a prestigious classic car show back in the summer. It's a single-seater concept, it's a flight of fantasy, but it is fully electrified. What it's really doing is showcasing Infiniti's idea of electrified platforms from 2021. So although this is sexy and wonderful, and it's showcasing the whole flat floor thing, and you can get down and be in the car and package cars differently, sadly this is never going to be made into production unless someone at Infiniti takes a happy pill and just decides to put a car even 30% similar to this into production, which would be amazing, but it won't happen. But there you go, yeah, the Infiniti Prototype 10, showcasing what interesting electrification can be from 2021, maybe. Simon.
Yes.
This is Simon.
Nice to meet
Simon
you.
works for a company called Urb-E, which is not Herbie, and it's nothing to do with cannabis, like herb. It's not either of those things, is it?
Not at all. I mean,
Good.
California, but no.
I know, it's quite Californian. But in all seriousness, I walked past this and then walked back. It's an amazing, would you class it as an electric scooter, an e-bike?
It is classified as an electric bicycle.
Okay.
Yes. So we have the Urb-E here. This is the Pro Series. So this is more of our mid-range model.
Okay.
It is something that we've developed for commuters, everyday commuters needing last mile transportation to their office, to the train station. It is very portable, folds up really quickly.
Look at that.
We usually say folds up within a second, sorry. And it's very easy to carry around as well. It's about 30 pounds. That's about 14 kilograms for you guys.
That's light.
And this here can achieve about 20 miles in distance
20
per
miles?
charge. at a speed of about 18 miles an hour.
That's good. So 20 miles range, 18 miles an hour.
Correct.
And this is the battery pack in this
Yeah,
block?
yeah. This is battery pack. It is a removable battery pack that we've ourselves have developed in-house. All of our products are developed in-house here in Pasadena in the LA County area.
Okay.
And they are manufactured here as well.
So the Sport is like a smaller one. Is that a Sport?
Correct. This is a Sport model right here. This is intended to be more of a compact version of the Pro. So this is a little easier to carry. It comes with a leather strap. It is only 30 pounds. So we've been able to shave off a few pounds so that it is a little easier to carry. And
Love that.
it also, what's great about it is that handlebars are foldable as well. So it's a little more compact.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and open it for you so that you can see
Whoa,
the
that all
entire.
happened so quickly,
Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah. So what?
So quickly.
Very, very quickly. So the whole idea is that it's so convenient. Is we used to say with the Pro, you can fold it within a second. This is less than a second.
It's just click, click, done.
Just like that. It has a 16-mile range
16, okay.
and 14 miles per hour in top speed.
But 16 miles is quite a long way.
It still is. Our average commuter is clocking in about 2 to 5 miles per trip.
Okay.
So overall, our customers are very happy. They're able to recharge either once or twice a week and not have to worry about paying for gas or paying for parking.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this. Can I, I drive cars for a living and vans and other such vehicles. Could I take this for a little spin around the
Absolutely,
LA Convention Center?
I'd be happy to set you up with one.
Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, seriously, why would you walk around a show when you could just ride? And ride it at 18 miles an hour, potentially. I mean, what a great piece of design. And it rides really well. When stuff's good, it should be celebrated, shouldn't it? And what's cool about these is they're not actually trying to sell them to individuals as much as they are trying to rent them as fleet vehicles, or people can just rent them for a day or an hour and then give them back. That's what this program's all about, Southern California University. They've got the fleets of them at universities, so people can just come and go as they want, for $1 an hour or whatever it is. Makes perfect sense. Well, it's dark outside. I've got my coat on because it's still raining outside, and it's now time to leave the glitzy lights of the LA Motor Show. Lots of plug-in content, lots of interesting stuff, lots of promising vehicles to come. Thank you for subscribing to Fully Charged if you already do. If you don't, have a look. Again, if you're a Patreon subscriber, we couldn't do this sort of thing without you, so thank you. I'm now going home to England. I'm taking my grey trousers and my grey book with me. I hope to see you soon. Ciao.